Most people think you need one huge income to afford a Lamborghini, but the reality is it's not one income, it's multiple. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down every income stream that I have and how they all work together. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, what I do here is teach you how to go from a Honda Civic to a Lamborghini, because that's what I did. I retired at the age of 33 and I made this channel to share my knowledge with the rest of the world. So do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel. I put out content every single week. Now let's go ahead and get started. Because you've seen my channel, you know I did not just wake up one day and buy this car. I literally built it over time, and the biggest shift for me was going from one income to stacking multiple streams. And so the really important part about this whole thing is that some of these income streams are active, which are great to start with, but not necessarily your end goal. The other ones are semi-passive, and the best ones are long-term, but together they all create leverage. So let's go ahead and get started. So my number one that has been going on for the longest time is going to be DJ income. Before, it used to be a whole lot more, but now I'm gradually getting old, and so it has become a whole lot less. But it was a great starting point. I started DJing for fun around 18 years old, got into doing weddings. One thing led to the next, started doing about 50 weddings every single year. Now, I know a lot of people are not just gonna go out there and go and become DJs. It's something that you kind of have to have the gift for or the skill set for, but you yourself have your own skill set or your own gift that you could also go out there and go do as well. So I probably did on average 1 to 2 gigs on a weekly basis, but the pay that I would get with just those 1 to 2 days was significant enough to just basically live on it. So what that meant was throughout the weekdays, I was able to do other things that make me more income as well. Fast forward a little bit, whenever 2020 happened, DJing was on a complete pause. There was no gigs happening, so I needed to have a plan B. So what I did was I walked into a dealership. I got myself a job as a genius there. And so this was my first real job. Is currently still a income stream that I have in the background. I am part-time there now, just for fun, 2 to 3 days a week. But this was my base income at the time, and honestly, this was what gave me stability to build everything else. It was consistent and reliable, and at the time, that's exactly what I needed. You may be somebody who's in a position where you are working your 9 to 5, or you may be working at a job that's only providing you a single piece of income. So definitely pay attention to the transition that I made from this job going into my next thing. My next thing that I did with that BMW job was, obviously, I love cars. I'm sure you can tell. And then so what I began to do was I started my own YouTube channel, not thinking that it would become anything, but I just wanted a place where I could just record vehicles, just like B-roll stuff. No talking involved at all. Just B-roll videos of BMWs and some music overlays, and I would just post those up onto YouTube. And before I knew it, the views just started to come in, and I was quite surprised by it. The second video of all time that I posted on my last channel, which is called Beam Review, you guys can go check it out if you want. But the second video that I made even got up to 50,000 views, which was really, really rare. But the key thing with this was that along with my BMW 9 to 5 job that I had, from my time frame from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., I would work and quite honestly enjoy doing that. Pretty much every single day, I would make sure that I would record one video and post it every single week, no matter what. And that was what led to the next income stream, which ultimately got that YouTube channel Beam Review to be monetized, and now till this day is a significant part of my total income that I make. It took me about 1 year to post my first video on YouTube in around 2021 or so. And then by 2022, the channel did become monetized, and then I did become a YouTube partner, which basically just means that I start getting paid through YouTube on a monthly basis. Granted, at that time, I only had 1,000 subscribers, so my total income that I was getting initially through YouTube was only about $200 a month. But the key thing to take away from this whole thing is that that money that was coming from YouTube was, you could say, semi-passive income. So I would make a video, that video would continue to generate views, which would mean that I continue to get paid over time. But that is one huge takeaway that you could take to yourself as well. Say for example, you're working your 9 to 5, but between your 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., that's your window to, say for example, do another side hustle, to do a business move. But the biggest thing to note is that whatever you're working on in that side hustle that you're doing in that time frame needs to be something where you can make your money in your sleep, or at least have a business where you can ultimately get to that. Say, for example, you're somebody who's cleaning cars from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eventually, you get really, really good at it. Again, this should be something that you really enjoy doing, because it's going to be something that you have to do consistently. Not only that, it should be something that you're really passionate about so that you can become the best at it. But ultimately, say for example, you're detailing cars, you get to a point where you get a really good reputation for it, and then you get to the point where you start blowing up, which you will get there, because if you love it and then you become the best at it, that's what's going to be leading to. And then you can hire 2 other people that can work for you, and then you can collect commission off the people that are working for you. And then before you know it, you're starting to make your first passive income there. And then you can just build on that into some other things. You can start making your own cleaning products that you can start selling online. But that's what worked for me. So YouTube, I knew, could be something that would be passive, and then I made sure that I doubled down on YouTube, and then I would just post and post and post like crazy. But this was money that was coming from views, and over time this built into something solid. Once YouTube blew up, once I had my 1,000 subscribers going to 2,000, 3,000, then I knew that I started to have a strong following of people, or a audience, that just wanted to know more information. Now, I will say that this specific one is probably the biggest stream that is going to be the most important one out of these. YouTube ad revenue is great, but I will think that is number 2 compared to this one. So my number 4 revenue at this point, you could say, is going to be digital products. So the reason why digital products are a huge thing to sell is because you're basically selling digital items. So say for example, you're somebody that has a ebook. If I built a ebook teaching somebody exactly what I did on, say for example, how to properly detail a car. Say for example, I made a top 10 guidelines blueprint on the top 10 ways to detail your car. I could package that into, say for example, a PDF, or even a book, or even a course, and then I could sell that to my viewers or people on my social media, and then I would collect revenue through that. And the crazy part is that you can make this product once, and then you can sell it over 1,000,000 times. Granted, you always do want to make sure you're taking care of your customers, make sure that they're happy, maybe like a little bit of involvement, but you get the point. Profit margins, or the money going into your pocket by doing something like this, is going to be over 90%. So digital products in this day and age is probably the best thing that you can sell. The next one is going to be affiliate income. So what affiliate revenue or affiliate income is say for example, you're somebody who is a business, and if I refer my viewer to your page or your web page or your product, and if they buy it, then you're paying me 5 to 10% commission on whatever they paid for. So I'll give you an example of what this is. A really cool thing that you all should research about is Amazon Associates. Say for example, if I post a link to my YouTube channel about BMW car mats from Amazon, and then if somebody clicks on that link and then they go to Amazon and then they buy that, then Amazon, say for example, would pay me 5% commission on $200 mats that they purchased, which if I do my math is around $10. I suck at math. Then that means that $10 just went into my account, and I didn't even have to do anything. All that I did was just post that link onto my video, and that video is something that is still getting views till this day. So you can see how things start to compound whenever you do that. So affiliate revenue or affiliate income, there's probably 5 to 10 different ways you could do this. Amazon Associates is one. CJ Affiliate is also a big one. I also have a partnership with Chemical Guys where I can refer my viewers to them, and then if they use my discount code, then I get a small commission off whatever they purchase as well. So that's how affiliate income works. My next one is going to be a Shopify store. So a Shopify store is basically like Amazon, you could say, but this is more of something that you're selling on your own. So on my Shopify store, I have my own physical products, or BMW compatible key fob covers. So I know that everyone has a BMW key, and those keys are not cheap. They're like $900 to $1,000. So what I knew and thought was that everyone could use a BMW compatible key fob cover. So I pay these premium key fob covers in bulk. I get it shipped to a fulfillment network, where that fulfillment network is linked to my Shopify store. So if a viewer from my channel goes on to my Shopify store and makes a purchase, the fulfillment network will gather all their details, take care of my shipping, make sure everything is nice and organized, and it will be delivered to their house within 4 to 5 days. And depending on how strong your brand or YouTube page is, your profit margins could go up and up depending on that. And then obviously for the fulfillment network, I pay them a small commission on whatever they help me out with, which is basically $5 per product shipped. But the key thing here is that I am completely hands off with it. I don't have to worry about returns. I don't have to worry about shipping the product. And it's a system and the only thing I get is just a notification on my phone letting me know that a product has been shipped or a purchase has been made. The crazy thing about YouTube and Shopify is that you can link both of them together. So my products that are on Shopify can also be shown on my YouTube page right below a video which has pictures and links that go directly to them. The next one is not going to be a big one. It used to be for me, but that one is going to be brand deals or sponsorships. So once I got my channel or audience way up there, you get emailed by many different sponsors. They reach out to you and then they ask you, hey, if you could do a 3-minute ad for us, we'll pay you $1,000, for example. So that is what a brand deal is. So it's almost like a commercial that you do on your page, and then you get paid for it. I personally am 50-50 about this. If there is a really good brand deal where they're paying me a lot, then I'll do it. But for the most part, I don't really believe in this too much because it's only a one-time payment that I'm going to get from the advertiser. But my goal is to do something once and continuously get paid over time. So sponsorships and brand deals, if you just do one ad, you yourself don't really benefit from it. You do get paid for it, but keep in mind you only get paid one time for just doing that ad. But then whoever you're sponsoring, they continue to get paid because your video is continually growing. So the better thing to do, in my opinion, is to have your own products that you sell, and then you can do commercials for your own products. So then that way you control your marketing, and then not only that, you control the pricing on your product based off how people are buying or not buying. So it gives you more control. But obviously at this point, I've made quite a bit of income from all those different ways, but that's just one part. But then at this point, it's still just half of the equation into getting into a Lamborghini, because this is income that is coming into my pocket. But with that income, you need to know how to not just get it, but you need to know how to multiply it. So this is where things like investments come into play. So once you have your money, once you have your 50 grand to 100 grand saved up, you don't just leave it in your savings account. You want to continuously take that money and then park it into places that are still going to be making you more money. So the 3 best places that you could park your money once you have a good amount of it is going to be either into stocks or real estate or reinvesting into your own business. So you could do a combination of those 3. I personally just do 2 out of those 3. I'm not good at real estate whatsoever. I'm good at stocks. I know how the market works, and then I know how to reinvest into my own business. So say, for example, if I made a ton of money, I made my first $100,000. I don't just take that $100,000 and I go buy the Lamborghini with it. I take that $100,000, I put it into stocks, or I put it into my own business so my business can grow more and speed up more and make me more income. Or I'll put it into stocks where I invest into the market, and then it begins to multiply the income that I already have, which for my investments is around 20% every single year. So if I put $100,000 into stocks, that makes me 20% every single year. Then say, for example, by year 2, it's going to be $120,000. And as year 3, 4, 5 come along, that money starts to multiply by 20% every single year. And then once you start to make money off your investments, that's what you want to use to buy your toys. So I'll give you a analogy, but say, for example, you grow 1 apple tree and then it makes you 1 apple. You don't want to just take that apple and then you want to go ahead and eat it, because then you're going to be left with no apples again. So what you want to do is you want to take that 1 apple, you want to take the seeds from it, you want to grow more trees that grow more apples, And then before you know it, you're gonna probably have like 25 to 50 different trees with a whole bunch of apples, and then you can start eating those apples, which basically means that you use those apples to go buy your toy. So that's the way that you kind of have to look at it. You can't just make money and then go spend it, because then you're just gonna be spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere, and that puts you at risk by a whole lot if something goes wrong. And then even though I use that money to go buy toys, I use my investment money to go buy my Lamborghini, it didn't stop there. So the craziest thing is that if you never want to stop this compounding effect. So even though I bought my Lamborghini, I even asked myself the question, I'm like, hey, what could I do with this $300,000 car that could make me money? How can this car pay for itself? What could I do with this car that could help other people where they're willing to pay me money to help pay off the car? So this is actually why I started this channel. So the channel is still really small, but at the rate that is going at the making of this video, I'm about 30 to 40 days away from getting this channel monetized. It has been blowing up lately. YouTube and their advertisers are paying me because you guys are watching their ads. It's not a whole lot, but it does add up over time. So you could say that my Lamborghini is making me money through this channel. Down the road, whenever this channel blows up a little bit more, then I'll be doing my own digital products. I basically go into more depth about how exactly I did my investments, what type of stocks I invested in, and then I can sell that as a digital product and help people invest their money or teach them exactly what I did, and then they themselves can start making millions and millions of dollars throughout the course of their life as well. So the takeaway is that it's not about one big income, it's about stacking multiple streams that work together. And that's how you create something like this. And I'll be honest, it was something that took years. It wasn't something that was overnight, but most people quit before it compounds. I've learned all this stuff all through YouTube. Nobody never really taught me the actual fundamentals of starting a YouTube channel. It was something I did completely on my own. And you yourself, you don't have to just limit yourself to starting your own channel or your own page. There's so many different things out there. But the key thing is that you keep on learning and you keep on trying to go in the direction of separating your work from your time and make money in your sleep. And then just learn how to invest it, and then you're pretty much good to go. You can down the road get whatever house you want, whatever car you want. And then once it starts working, everything starts moving faster. So let me know what you all think. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you all for watching. See you for the next one.